Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. Today, we are officially launching our series of interviews with Miss World Philippines candidates. And of course, to start this episode, I have a very special guest, someone that a lot of you have been requesting. And of course, you knew that I had to go ahead and make it happen. I'm talking about Ashley Subijano Montenegro, who is actually representing Makati City during Miss World Philippines. As usual, as you know, this is going to be a fun interview. We're going to get to know her a lot better. And I have actually prepared a few surprises for you guys and actually for Ashley as well that she's not aware of. But you guys will see all of that unfold during the interview. Of course, she is a very fresh face in pageantry in the Philippines, a very promising candidate. So I really hope that you guys come here with an open mind and an open heart to welcome her and really uplift her during her journey. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, if you find some sort of value, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe so that you don't miss the new content that we are putting out almost every single day. So without further ado, everyone, I will roll the intro and I will meet you with Ashley right after. Excited. Hello, hello. How are you doing, Ashley?
Hi, hello. I'm doing great. Lacking a little bit of sleep, but I'll get a good night's rest tonight.
Oh, well, we are so happy to have you here, and thank you so much for giving us some of your time. I know that you must be like so busy right now, but we truly appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I've actually been a fan. I watched your videos with some of my friends. So when I saw your DMs, I felt so kilig.
Oh, you're the sweetest. Honestly, when I saw your message telling me that you have watched some of my previous video, I just couldn't believe it because in my head I'm always like, these girls, they are, super known in the Philippines and they have like this pageantry name. And of course, when you told me that you knew my videos, that was like a full circle moment for me. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate you.
Of course.
And before we get into the interview, I just wanted to say hello, everyone, for the people who are joining us and watching us as well during the live stream. We appreciate you
Hi,
being here with
everybody.
us. Yes. Okay, so I see Salvatore in the chat saying hi. So thank you so much,
Hi.
Salvatore. Yes, he actually is a huge part of this interview. He helped me a lot, prepared, and you will see we have a few surprises for you, Ashley. So I hope that you're ready. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh boy, me and surprises have a funny history.
Don't worry, it's only good ones.
Okay.
All right. So before we get into the interview and the actual questions, I think that in order to know you as a candidate, as a person, we need to know a little bit, your background and where you come from. But of course, as of right now, you are officially announced as one of the candidates for Miss World Philippines.
Mhm.
So how does that make you feel? What is your state of mind as of right now?
So excited because I was a pageant fan for the longest time after discovering how impactful beauty, and of course after training alongside batches of beauty with 2020, so many different perspectives to finally be able to join and feel like it's my turn. It's so exciting, and all the experiences. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And it's gonna be an exciting journey. I feel like Miss World Philippines, it's a very challenging pageant because there are different titles, different crowns.
Mhm.
But of course, you got the beauty, you got the brains, you got the purpose, you have it all. So you can do this.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about your pageantry journey so far, up until this point. If I recall properly, so you competed in 2019 in Global Asian Model
Yes.
Philippines, where you actually won the
Hmm.
title of Miss Philippines Charm, right?
Yes, the first Miss Charm Philippines, and that was actually the
Yeah.
title that I wanted.
Okay. Well, congratulations already for that being like your very first pageant and you being able to win the
Yeah.
title. That says a lot about you
Hmm.
as a candidate.
Thank you.
So, when you think of those days, right, when you first joined and that competition, what are some of the things that you have learned during that journey that you will bring with you to Miss World Philippines?
Greatest lesson that comes to mind is that your perseverance and your hard work will show the most. I think that with people seem to think that they can get away with a lot, but ultimately, the judging panel can really tell someone who's hardworking, who's dedicated, and whose heart is really into it. So, to really, have mind over matter and put that much effort into everything that you do.
Of course, absolutely. And as you said, like you were able to win the title for Miss Charm Philippines at that point. I
Yes.
actually have a photo here that I will just plug for everyone to get a little idea. Look at you. What
Oh,
was going through
that's
your mind at this
me.
particular
I was
point?
so caught off guard because even though I wanted the Miss Charm Philippines title, I could tell from out the competition that they wanted me for a more model-esque position. So in my
Yeah.
mind, I was thinking before they called my name, I thought one of the other candidates would be called. But when they said mine, I was like, oh, that's my name. And I was so shocked just because like it really was something that I wanted. So God had answered my prayers. And I'm so relieved that the judges saw something in me to become a beauty queen, even if I had no experience before.
Absolutely. And exactly, I feel like that's one of the biggest, accomplishment at that particular point is that being able to join a pageant is very hard. Like being part of the audience, like the viewers like to talk about it and criticize and give their
Mhm.
2 cents, but actually being in the pageant, it's a different story, right? So
Yeah.
you did incredible. And what can you tell us?
Thank
Because of course we know that Miss Charm has been postponed a few times, three times up until this point, but you're still like the title holder in the Philippines. So
you. Yeah.
do we know what's gonna happen with Miss Charm? Is there anything that you can share? Any updates with the audience?
Um, I really don't know, and I would share if I did, but
Of
they
course.
have not spoken to any of us since before they declared the official postponing. I
Okay.
know that some of the organizers really tried their best, and on our side with the Empire team, which is owned by Jonas Food because he owns the franchise, we did our
Yeah.
best to communicate, but at some point, there's only so much you can say and think without getting a response. So I asked, my management's permission. Mama J knows. He gave me his approval as well as his support. And we were moving forward with my journey in Miss World Philippines. If it need be that I need to give up the title of Miss Charm after hopefully being crowned in Miss World Philippines, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
Of course.
overall, I don't have any hard feelings. I understand that the Miss Charm organization did their best. And even if we weren't really given that much to do with our platform, I still took to heart all of the lessons and values that they wanted us to possess.
Absolutely. I definitely understand where you're coming from. And, it's kind of a redirection in life sometimes, you never know.
Yeah.
We need to look at the bright side. And you had the experience of joining the competition at first, winning the title. So you already have that, as being part of your pageantry history. And then it's,
Mm-hmm.
just moving forward and creating new
Yeah.
experiences and new
Yeah.
opportunities for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to say very quickly here, people in the chat are saying she is glowing. She is really
Oh,
beautiful,
thank you.
Louis.
I drink lots of water.
Yes, that's the secret. Perfect. So as we said, so a redirection. Now, Miss World Philippines. Can you tell me?
Mhm.
I think I know the answer for this one, but I want to hear it from you.
Okay.
There are so many different pageants in the Philippines, and each one of
Yeah.
them have different opportunities, different platforms. Why Miss World Philippines precisely?
So when I was preparing for Miss Charm Philippines, because it's the first one, you can't YouTube the previous Miss Charms and understand what they're looking for, what their peg is like. All you have is a certain amount of information that they give you. So what I
Mhm.
did was I said, I'm going to study all of the other major pageants to really get an idea of what it is like to be the perfect package. knowing
Yeah.
their advocacy and knowing that they really wanted to establish a name for themselves, the best thing that I could do was just keep studying and keep growing. So because of that, I really exposed myself by watching pageants live and watching everything on YouTube that you could find. And I really fell in love with the Miss World pageant. I understand sometimes in the Philippines, there's a little bit of confusion because there is no exact pattern of what their winners are like. But I really understood it. And I think it's because of my longevity, training with aces and queens from the past 2.5 years, and understanding that in Miss World, you're there for a month. And that
Yeah.
hearing that Megan Young had a good reputation because she treated people very kindly, you know, all the chaperones, organizers. So it spoke to me in a way is that they're really looking for someone with substance and someone who has stamina, someone who is kind even when a judge or a camera isn't looking. And
Mhm.
because of my profound consistency with aces and queens, I felt that it was the best one for me to shine with my strengths.
Absolutely. I agree with you
Mm-hmm.
actually. Something that I have come to realize as a pageant fan, as someone who also covers, a lot of different pageants for my channel, is that there is no precise like secret to winning a pageant. You need to be yourself. You need to be authentic. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
able to connect with people, of course, but
Yeah.
ultimately you have to be yourself. That's really the core of it because once you win the pageant, of course, there are certain activities during the pageant, the prelims, and swimsuit and evening gown. But once you get the
Mm-hmm.
title, you got to be ready to put in the work for the
Yeah.
advocacy, for the platform, for the visibility of the organization as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they really look at the behind the scenes as well. So that's something that pageant
Yeah.
fans don't get to see from our perspective. But very good point. um, of course, and as you mentioned right now, then you're working as well with Aces and Queens, which is one of
Mm-hmm.
the largest and most reputable pageants camps in the Philippines. So, what can you tell us
Mm-hmm.
about your experience collaborating with them?
I really love them. I mean, even the trainers we've had along the way that are no longer with ACEs, they really are dedicated to helping their girls. There are so many candidates that apply and only a small amount get in. But that's
Mhm.
because our mentors really want to invest their resources, their time, and their effort into these girls because of passion. And having been able to receive all of that from my mentors throughout the years, throughout the different batches, I really feel like I've learned so much. And it's why I'm consistently grateful because I've experienced being the one that nobody believed in, that was often body shamed and bashed, to now someone that people are really rooting for. But throughout all of that, the number one believer in me that was consistent was ACEs. So
Mhm.
I'll always be eternally grateful for them and hold all of their lessons.
Absolutely. And it's also important to have like a group of people behind you who understand you as a
Yeah.
person, not just as a beauty
Mm-hmm.
queen, right? But they want to push you and be able make sure that you are being true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's with your pageantry goals, but also with your personal goals as well. So it's
Yeah.
also nice. Um, I wanted to ask you one of the another conversation that is happening around you
Mm-hmm.
is, of course, joining Miss World Philippines. There are different titles that are available for the candidates to
Yeah.
win. Are you aiming for one in particular, or
I am Miss World.
Miss World just going for the big crown?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. Do you feel like this is going to be a challenging journey given the caliber of candidates who apply for Miss World Philippines?
Absolutely. Every batch is different.
Yeah.
What I noticed from the beginning with this batch was that they're really strong speakers. We have a really smart, batch of candidates this year.
Mhm.
And it's such an honor because we constantly challenge each other, and from that, we improve. For example, I always knew that when I was given the opportunity to speak, I would provide substance because there's so much that I want to share. But my number one weakness is that I naturally have a very soft voice. I think
Yeah.
it's from my shyness as a teenager, but I also had trouble projecting. And so, upon realizing this from day zero, which was our final screening, I immediately knew that I was in a batch with such amazing speakers who even have backgrounds in hosting. And from that, I immediately was able to learn from them, to get their advice, to see what kind of vocal exercises I could do, as well as how to project my voice without losing my breath. So, because of this batch and all of their strengths, as well as our weaknesses, we really help each other.
Of course. I really appreciate what you're saying here because we're talking pretty much about the sisterhood of being in a
Mm-hmm.
pageant. It's not always,
Yeah.
of course, it's a competition. Everyone is trying to get a title. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also like this bond that is created between the girls and that they're able to
Mm-hmm.
uplift one another, although you're still in a competition, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. May
Mm-hmm.
I ask you, so when it comes to um, your pageantry journey up until now, whether it's within Aces and Queens and the girls that have been preparing alongside yourself, or even within Miss World Philippines, um, what is something that you would say? In what ways do you support one another, other than, of course, the seeing the strengths and then trying to catch up or helping them catch up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to other ways to support your sisters, whether it is with pressure on social media, whether it is with opinions that might be said about the candidates and the contest as well, like the pageant, how do you show
Yeah.
love and support for one another?
By really having those heart to heart moments, sometimes it may feel impossible to really slow things down and be in tune with yourself, be in tune with your friends, but making time for it, to be honest with each other, to say, hey, you did really great at this thing. I know you're so tired, but you should be proud of yourself. That also, the flip side of that coin comes with, again, honesty, is being able to accept criticism in all forms, but taking it to heart when it comes from the people that matter, the ones who really want the best for you.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing
We're a
that.
strong support group.
Yes, that's also important. It's important to have a very strong support group with your family, with your friends, with your camp, and just to feel overall like protected and supported in all aspects.
Yeah.
So, having said that, I will present to you the very first little surprise that I had for today,
Okay.
which is actually a message from one of your dear friends. So, let's see it and let's see how
Is
you
it who I
react to
think it
this.
is?
Well, we'll see.
Hi Ashley, hi Louise. I hope you guys are doing great. Ashley, you know how much I love you, and I'm so excited for your Miss World Philippines journey. No doubt that you will make us even more proud. You will do amazing. You know how much I look up to you and how much you inspire me. So know that I'll always, always be here for you. I love you.
We have the
I'm gonna
amazing
start
Jasmine O'Malley.
tearing. I love you, Jasmine. I don't know if you're watching right now because I know you're a busy woman, but I love you so much and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Jasmine O'Malley is just incredible. I remember her Miss Universe
Yeah,
Philippines journey, and she was definitely one of the fan favorites. So,
yeah.
how do you feel, having. Oh, don't get emotional, or I'm not getting emotional
I
myself.
know. I don't want my lashes to come off.
Oh my God. That's so precious. Um, I think that she's such a beautiful, strong candidate. So when you decided to join a pageant such as Miss World Philippines, of course,
Yeah,
do you go and ask for tips and tricks from your friends that already have this experience?
absolutely. And I'll admit, sometimes they find it annoying because they're like, Ash, you got it down already, okay? You don't need any more advice. You're good. Just do what you need to do. Give it your all as you always have and just go win,
Absolutely.
including Jasmine.
I love that. And of course, they're completely right. You got this in the back, girl. I mean, you're doing amazing already, so there's no need to worry about a thing. So sending love to Jasmine. Thank you so much for
I
sending
love
us
you,
a little
Jasmine. I
video.
love you so, so much.
So cute. So now let's talk about another one of your biggest supporters. And this is something
Mhm.
that was very, very clear to me when I was doing the research for the interview with Salvatore. We were
Mhm.
going through social media and looking at comments and posts, and someone who truly is on your side is your mom. So Miss Cara
Yeah.
Subijano. who was
mom.
also Miss World Philippines in 1994. So,
Hmm.
what can you tell us about your mom, and how does she feel about your current journey in Miss World Philippines?
Well, my mom has always been quite the tiger mom, especially when it came to my schoolwork, my extracurricular activities. But really, it's just because she wanted me to be great at everything that I chose to do. And that's a lesson that was really ingrained in me since childhood. She actually never suggested for me to become a beauty queen. She knew I wanted to be a model, and she did advise me for that. But when I decided to become a beauty queen, and even when I stumbled upon it, she really held her arms wide open with the best kind of advice. I think that sometimes, because we see other queens prior to us be picked apart for these little things, we
Mm,
tend to be fixated. But for with her advice was always to strike the core, is to improve yourself as a woman. Everything else will follow. To remember to always be kind to other people because that's how you'll be remembered. And to be purposeful because you want to make the most of what you have. But when doing so, try to be as selfless as you can. Sometimes people can be too fixated with something that is just a side effect of a great career opportunity, like being a beauty queen. But she wanted me to make the most of what I could with the platform to be charitable.
of course, absolutely. Your mom truly conquered the heart of the Philippines and even cards all over the world. I just see like here Salvatore in the comments saying, "We love Miss Cara Subijano Wong, forever Miss Philippines."
Thank you. She loves you guys so much.
Absolutely. She's truly, truly amazing. So, for you personally, of course, your mom must be so, so proud of you. But for you to see yourself being able to follow her footprints at this point, the competition, with the path, with just like the advocacies and the work, how does that make you feel? Are you proud of yourself looking back?
Super proud. I do try to learn as much as I could from her because, for one, I do look like my mom. But because beauty pageants and the industry has changed so much since the 90s, I
Yeah.
also take things just by tablespoon because I have to be able to adapt with the changes.
Mhm. Absolutely. I think that it's truly something that you should take as an inspiration, like your mom's journey, and that apply that to yourself. But of course, always staying true to your core. And I know
Yeah.
that sometimes for children of past winners or candidates who represented the country internationally, there tend to be a lot of comparison and a lot of expectation as well because of how well
Yeah.
your mom did previously. So, do you see that as an advantage, the fact that people expect so much from you, or as a disadvantage?
I see it as an advantage because it consistently challenges me. And with the kind of person I am, not just as a beauty queen, but when I was a scholar, an athlete, or even a young businesswoman, I always embrace challenges, honesty. I always welcomed criticism because I do ultimately want to be the best version of myself. In terms of negative comparisons, sometimes they used to affect me maybe when I was crowned as the first Miss Charm Philippines, but
Yeah.
having that experience as, again, being the one who was put down, I really built that mental fortitude and I understood what it meant to only accept criticism from people that want to see me succeed
Mm,
and not let these little things get to me because at the end of the day, it's me who's going to shine in the moments that matter.
absolutely. Oh, I really love that message. Um,
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago, we actually had here on the channel Michelle D for an interview. And
Uh-huh.
Michelle was sharing some of, very similar comments about you and the expectations of people comparing her to her mom. And, at the end of the day, a mother's love is like the
Yeah.
biggest love that you can think of. And of course, your mom will always support you, be there for you. And even if
Yeah.
people compare and they tend to, bring back the past, like your mom just wants you to do well, enjoy the experience, and be
Yeah.
yourself at all times, right?
Hmm.
I'm
Love
actually
you,
going to share
Mom.
here a little, yeah, sending love to you, mom. I'm going to share here a little post that I found on social media where she was
Uh-huh.
actually talking about, it was kind of like an open letter for you. mentioning that that you guys have very similar paths, but of course, she recognizes you as having your very own mind,
Yeah.
and she just wants you to continue doing your thing and do well in
Yeah.
your own path because you have that potential. For the viewers, if you want to like read the entire message, please just pause the video and go through it. But I just thought that it was such a beautiful gesture, because
Yeah.
often we have uh, like the parents being compared to the child, but I haven't seen very many occasions where the parent actually comes out and supports their child and be like, let them be for who they are. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
props to your mom for that.
And my mom does have a way with words.
Mm, she does, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the biggest tip that she gave you for this journey?
Stay focused.
Huh?
Like again, as I said, Miss Tiger Mom for my school grades when I was young it was always to stay focused and remain consistent. It's more than okay to enjoy the little things and have a balance in your life, but stay focused on the priority, the task at hand, do what needs to be done, and make sure you learn the most and have fun doing it.
Mm, absolutely. And I think that that's so important, especially if you're going for the title of Miss World Philippines.
Yeah.
Like being focused and consistency is key. This is really the most important thing. Your mom knows this, of course, and I'm pretty sure that if you keep that in mind, you will be able to go and achieve that goal. I've seen like so many people rooting for you to actually go and get the title of Miss World Philippines. How does that make you feel to see so many people already like seeing you, visualizing you with that crown?
It makes me so excited and reinstate that belief in the power of manifestation because I work hard, I pray so much, but ultimately to see other people recognize my hard work and root for me, it really means so much. And again, it is such a contrast from how people may have perceived what could have been my performance in Miss Charm, but
Mm,
it's so sweet because I know that I earned it.
of course. No one can take that away from you. You did that. Let them talk. It's just background noise. All right. So I have the second surprise that I prepared for you.
Oh my God, am
Really
I gonna
into
cry again?
maybe maybe we are gonna cry. I don't know. We'll see. So okay, I'm just gonna share this one with you, and of course, I'm pretty sure it's something that you have heard many times, but I think it's important for the viewers as well to see, everything that goes into a pageant and the support system behind a beauty queen. Sorry, and that it's not just being beautiful in preparation, but that there is a lot of soul that goes into that as well. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, but you're gonna have to.
Hello, this is Kara Subijano Wong. I wanted to thank first Extraordinary Talks, Salvatore and Luis. Thank you for this opportunity. Actually, I'm hoping this is just one take kasi naiiyak na ako just to think about the message that I want to deliver my daughter Ashley, whom I'm so proud of. Ash, I think to summarize in one word, I just want to say congratulations. Why? Because you've already taken a major step towards your dream, and you've made every effort and every kind of hard work there is possible. You've been taking it, but you do it with such grace. You do it with such humility and so much kindness and gratefulness in your heart to everybody that's been helping you. Because as you know, as you fulfill your dream, it takes a village. It takes a lot of people to help you and to support you. And it's not just you. You've been kind even to your candidates, whom I also consider each and every one of them as gorgeous, as beautiful. All of you guys are. And so I just want to tell you again, congratulations, because you're going to be amazing. You've already embody the values of an ambassador of goodwill, and not just for our country, but for the world. So as your mom, I'm so proud of you, and I'm always here, and I miss you so much. I think the hardest part, really, and this, is letting you go because you're my only one, and as much as possible, I want you here with me. but I also know that I have to let you go for you to do what you want to do, what your dream is. And so I'm so grateful for everybody there that's been helping you, because I'm far away, but I'm always. And so I'm so grateful for everybody there that's been helping you, because I'm far away, but I'm always here. And I'm so happy that there are tools now, such as videos and social media, that helps me communicate with you as often as I can. And yeah, and my prayers, my love, and my sincere congratulations. I'm so proud of you. They're there. Good luck. Remember what I said, presence of mind all the time. You know what to do. Alam mo na yan. Alam mo na. Take care always. I love you.
Are you
Oh,
tearing? Because I'm tearing. Crap. I don't know where I'm going to find it, but I need to find waterproof eyelash glue for coronation.
oh my God. I just received this video like a few moments before we started our interview. We were trying to make it happen. And when I watched it, I almost like teared up. So this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to share it, because I feel like your mom's love and support is just like so overwhelmingly huge. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel like, how do you react to having someone as supportive, someone that believes in you no matter what, regardless of expectations, of critiques, and is able to support you regardless of distance as well? How do you feel about it?
It makes me feel like I'm capable of anything.
Mm,
And I'm sure that must be a common answer, but with a mother's love and a mother's belief, because she really sees, our mothers really see us for who we are, along with understanding that there are limits to our capabilities, but
mhm,
wanting us to maximize our potential. So for my mom, who has accomplished her dreams, to see me following mine and really believe and support me, that's the most validation that I feel like I need in this world. If I were to need somebody else's other than my own, then it would be hers. Because she genuinely is a woman, a multifaceted, intellectual, beautiful woman I look up to.
absolutely. You have the best role model already in your own life.
Yes, I'm so lucky. Other people can't have her. She's mine. She's my mentor.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much, Miss Kara, for sending us the video. We truly, truly
Thank you,
appreciate
mommy.
it.
I
And
love you.
yes, we're sending you all the love in the world. Um, so, Ashley, now let's talk a little bit about one of the core things of Miss World Philippines, and that is your advocacy, your purpose. So, what can you tell us
Yes.
about your platform? What are you hoping to do with it?
So I am so excited about mine because it's a cause that targets two marginalized areas, communities that are so close to me. So I grew up with rescue cats as my household pets throughout my childhood. Because of that, I've always had a soft spot for animals. I've been volunteering with animal welfare since I was a teen. And the other area that my project takes care of are rescued victims of child sex trafficking here in the Philippines. So we take these two, we bring them together as a form of companion therapy. We sponsor the care of the animals. We teach the young girls that we work with how to take care of an animal as well as feel comfortable forming a new bond after the trauma that they've experienced. And the reason why it touches my heart so much, aside from the obvious reasons, is that we really are bringing love to both sides. And seeing that love, along with teaching them to care for one another, it's almost as if it's giving back in the highest form to those who have been harmed and silenced in this world.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I truly, truly love the fact that you are combining like these two very important, advocacies and giving it a platform and more visibility because of course, I think that is very common for beauty queens to just go with, one project or one advocacy and really focus on that, but you're really not compromising. You're doing like the
Yeah.
entire, you're going the extra mile. I love to
Yeah,
see that.
I'm very honored to be part of this project. It's an extension of my women's chapter, which is Junior Chamber International, Makati, Princess Arduha. So I also owe them all the credit as well, because this is a team effort.
Absolutely. Can you tell me when did you start like showing interest for these two projects, for these advocacies, and how did you start like implicating yourself in the beginning?
I've always been active with animals since I was a teen. I just volunteered with different kinds of charity, and it was never something I really publicized because it's not like I was a beauty queen then. I didn't have a reason to. And throughout the pandemic, I wanted to build on another advocacy that was more humanitarian, and that would be child sex trafficking. Because for a college project, I did some research about this, and I was really surprised to see how much the statistics in Southeast Asia have risen since COVID.
Mhm.
So when I was inducted into this women's chapter that works on community development projects, and they immediately told me about this new one after we discussed some of our common interests, it really felt like fate.
Oh, that's amazing. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I wanted to ask you this precisely is because a lot of people, those who are watching us live or even those who will rewatch the interview later on, very often, like I get messages from them and they're asking me, I really love her purpose, her advocacy. How can I help? So, for someone who would like to get implicated and help the
Yeah.
project, what is the best way for them to reach out and be part of it?
You can directly DM JCI Philippines on Instagram, or you can DM me and I'd be happy to direct you to our organization. Thank you so much to anyone who's showing interest.
Yes, absolutely. So, so important. And please, everyone, go ahead and support on social media, spread awareness. This is the power of the internet. We have the opportunity to spread information. And of course, if you are in the Philippines and you can help, physically, then by all means, go ahead and do it as well. I will be doing my part with my social media. So, of course, taking the steps to join a national pageant such as Miss World Philippines, of course, will give you access to a much wider platform. And if you were to have the title of Miss World Philippines, at that point, it's an even bigger platform that you will have. So, how do you plan to approach this advocacy and present it to a wider audience through social media or maybe like in-person activities? Do you already have a plan of how you're going to tackle this?
I want to be as vocal as I can because with the platform, with the title itself, that's when people will really start to listen.
Mhm.
And the most powerful tool that a woman can use is her voice. I know that Miss World Philippines, as well as Miss World, they host so many seminars, they give a lot of talks, and they are selective when they are able to visit sites to donate. And I'm sure I'm going to meet a lot of important people that hopefully I can direct into supporting my cause.
Absolutely. Using that network and the power
Yes.
uh,
Mhm.
of talking to people and connecting with them is going to be super, super important. So
Yes.
we're almost going towards the last segment of the interview, but before we get there, I just want to invite everyone in the chat of the live stream to think of a question that you would like to ask Ashley, and I will be picking a few ones. So I'll go with some of my questions, and then I'll get back to the chat to cover some of yours as well. So let's not forget, of course, Miss World is all about purpose and your advocacy, but it's also a beauty pageant at the end of the day. So can you tell me what is your strategy in terms of preparation, in terms of styling? Of course, without revealing anything that will give
Yeah.
away any surprises. But how are you tackling
Mhm.
this pageant in particular?
Again, like I said, number one is consistency. I know that we have a strong schedule and itinerary, but really finding time to still keep training so we don't lose track or lose any of our momentum. For styling, I have so many ideas, and I'm so fortunate to have built a network of creative stylists and designers around me. And they're so, so generous when it comes to helping me. I welcome all kinds of ideas, but I also have built a strong sense of direction with where I want us to go for my competition in Miss World Philippines.
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to your styling, so for
Mm-hmm.
example, the the way that you decide to style your hair, your makeup, and even your
Yeah.
wardrobe. Do you have any influences or inspirations that you're using for this year? Once again, without revealing anything compromising.
This suggestion was actually brought by my mom.
Okay.
She really admires Miss Universe Andrea Meza. She pointed out that we have a similar jaw face shape of both a little bit hard, a little bit oval. And because of some of my features being harsh, like my German cheekbones or my Spanish eyebrows, which I get from my father's side, we have worked to soften my features and play around a little bit. I'll admit I used to be quite shy when it came to my smile and making different facial expressions, but I think practice as well as trying out different looks and growing that confidence makes me feel more comfortable with expressing myself in various looks and various emotions.
Absolutely. And just bringing back very quickly the photo that I showed earlier of you winning the Miss Charm Philippines
Oh my
title.
God, my face! I'm like,
We can already see an evolution in your
yeah.
styling and just the way that you present
Yeah.
yourself. Of course, you were
Mm-hmm.
beautiful back then, but you're also beautiful now, stunning.
Thank
So
you.
you are stunning, you are confident, you are smart, you have what it takes. So just believe in yourself because we already believe in
Thank
you.
you so much.
Absolutely. All right, so let's take some of the questions from the chat. I
Okay.
see a few good ones over here. Um, mm, okay, so my friend Diana is asking,
Hi,
uh,
Diana.
what? Hi, Diana, sending love. What do you do to calm yourself during competition time?
I remind myself of that feeling I get when I'm on a roller coaster, when you're going so high and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because I've loved roller coasters since I was young. And even that feeling of when you're at the top and you're about to fall, I just remind myself, like, chill, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to have a good time. Just enjoy the ride. So I tell myself that whenever I'm about to speak in front of people, go on stage, anything like that.
Absolutely. Perfect. Very good tip. I'll write that even for myself. I'm not a beauty queen, but it's always useful. All
Mhm.
right. We have here a question from ES asking, how would you educate someone that was educated, however, he or she doesn't apply what he or she has learned in life? This is a tricky one. ES, you're not playing, huh?
Mhm. I would actually start by conversing with the person to get a better understanding of who they are, what kind of things do they believe in, what are their habits. And from that kind of conversation, you can pinpoint some of their strengths, weaknesses, and even desires. I think this is something that I picked up from being a businesswoman. And from there, when you're able to create more of a connection by understanding them better, that is when you can be more honest in how you feel about them and what they think they can apply with your advice.
I love that. Wow, that was such a good answer. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to answer that. With this question, I will just be like nose bleeding over here. Amazing. Okay, so we have another question here from ES as well. ES is sending all the good questions today. So, what is your most charming moment in life?
I think it would be certainly not when I met Pia Wurtzbach because I was just completely blank. Probably that moment when I was crowned, or even the moments before, like our final evening gown performance in Global Asian Model. Because in that moment, I remember thinking, just go with God. Just imagine your mom watching, because, she wasn't. She was in the States, I was in the Philippines. Just enjoy everything that you've worked hard for and know that your mother as well as God are in your heart, that they're there for you. And I felt that was when I felt most charming. And later on, I asked my mother how it went, and she said, that look on your face as you were walking down, that really showed your charm. That really showed that.
Oh, I think we're having a little problem with the internet. Okay, but you're back. You're back now. Thank you so
Oh,
much. That was so good.
whoopsie.
No, it's all good. You're back. All right. Last question from the audience, because I have very last important question to ask you, of course, but this is a very good one. This is Lix's. I call him my little brother because he's so, so supportive. So, can you tell us, Ashley, who is Ashley behind those glitz and glam? Who is that, like the real Ashley at the end of the day? Oh, are we having a
I'm
little technical
sorry, Judge
problem?
Luis. Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, no problem, absolutely. So, can you tell us who is Ashley behind those glitz and glam? Can you hear me? Okay, all right.
It's still pretty choppy. And your
Okay.
face is still frozen. It's okay though, because you're smiling at me. Oh, I think we're back.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, better loud.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So the question that my friend was asking you here is, who is Ashley behind those glitz and glam?
Sorry, was it who's Ashley behind the glitz and glam?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, someone who just loves to eat food. I love pasta. I love carbs. I love to sleep because I'm normally very busy, and is someone who's really always trying to do everything that I can. Being in school, being a good student, pursuing other careers and passions that I have. I've always been a very busy person just because I've always been ambitious, but resting and recuperating is staying focused. Really the essence of who I am.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it just shows, like you're a very chill girl,
Thank
very
you.
easygoing, and we love you for that. Um, can you hear me
Thank
properly
you.
now? Am I still lagging or?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, God, for the last question. um, so, of course, I feel like this is the purpose of the entire interview to come to this final moment where we have to ask you, um, being part of Miss World Philippines and especially aiming for the title of Miss World Philippines, it's a very big challenge. But at the same time, you have worked so hard for it. You have proven that you have what it takes in terms of beauty, in terms of purpose, in terms of every single aspect of being a beauty queen. So, with keeping in mind, the entire project of Beauty with a Purpose, why should you be the next Miss World Philippines?
Because I have a message to share with the world. And that message is ingrained in all the research I've done, as well as humanitarian work I've taken part in. By exposing myself to these kinds of projects, as well as being aware of the world around me, I really have so many messages I want to share and shed light on all kinds of marginalized communities from all around the world. Throughout the pandemic, I understand that so much important, crucial news has been blocked out because of the other calamities at hand. I am here to bring back that voice to those who have been silenced.
Oh, that was a mic drop.
Thank
Crown her now.
you.
I love that. Thank you so, so much, Ashley,
Thank you
for
so much.
it's been an honor. You are everything that I expected you to be, honestly. I'm leaving this interview with a happy
Oh,
heart.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much for having me.
Honestly, you're welcome here anytime. When you're crowned, come back for a follow-up interview, okay? We'll throw a
Absolutely.
party
I'll
here
have
for
my
you.
people call your people.
Yes, please. Of course, before we go, I also wanted to thank your mom for so kindly sending us the video. I want to thank Jasmine Umali as well for helping me come up with these little surprises. Salvatore, you're here in the chat, but Salvatore Garav, thank you so much for your help with the research and coming up with the videos and really putting this together, making it happen. And to the viewers as well for staying with us until the end. Um, please go and support Ashley on social media. Please tell us, Ashley, your social media handles and what is the best way to support you on Miss World Philippines. Oh,
This is
cutie!
my dog, PJ. He
Hi,
loves the
PJ.
camera.
Oh, he's so cute.
You can find me on Instagram at Ashley Subijano or Facebook at Ashley Subijano Montenegro, and soon Twitter because my mom has been telling me to make a Twitter account.
So important.
Soon at Ashley Subijano.
Perfect. And when it comes to Miss World Philippines, is there any like how is it gonna be? Are we gonna be voting for the candidates? What is the procedure for the audience?
I think you guys are going to help voting, especially
Okay.
with our multimedia challenge. So,
Mhm.
but in terms of the final night, I think it'll be based on cheers in the audience as well as the perspective of the judges.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, there you go, you guys. You already know what to do. Go and show some love and support. And once again, Ashley, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Hi, PJ. And I will see you very soon. Okay. Anything that you need, I'm a message away. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Louise. I'll see you again soon and hopefully with
Always
a
a
blue
pleasure.
crown on my head.
Oh, manifesting it, putting it out into the universe or the world, rather.
I see what you did there. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.